playoff edition of Must Win. It's a must win for everyone. But who's it really a must win for? We discuss. First up, Ravens, favored in Buffalo. Both QBs looking to punch their ticket to what we expect to be the Arrowhead Invitational. This season, including the playoffs, Ravens 6-3 on the road. Bills, however, undefeated. This will go clockwise through. Mangini won last week, but you are the reigning champion since he vacated the title belt and didn't show up. It's like the UFC. If you don't turn down the fight, I'm like Dana White out here with a nice head of hair.
Well, conventional wisdom is that it's a must-win for Lamar.
Yeah,
and I get it.
That. I hope
but
that's
what
not
it
your
really is a must play well for Lamar.
Wow.
The must-win is Derrick Henry. And here's why. He's 31 years old. How many more bites at this Super Bowl apple is he going to get? This is his 9th season, and most running backs aren't great even at that point. But some of the ones who are known for their longevity. Now, Walter Payton had an incredible longevity. Emmitt Smith's last great year was his 10th year. Adrian Peterson's last great year was his 9th year. So how much longer? I'm sure they'll bring him back, next year. But how many more chances is Derrick Henry going to have to win the Super Bowl? And Lamar just had this phenomenal season. The defense has it going. Must win for my man, Derrick Henry.
This is a must win for Josh Allen. Simply put, this round has not been great for Josh Allen. Like, he's 1-4 in the division round. Last time he was in this round and won, it was actually against Lamar and the Ravens. But when you look at Josh Allen all season long, all we've said was it's been all about Josh Allen, one-man show. Why now all of a sudden will we not say it's a one-man show? You better show up. You got the home game, home field advantage. You're up for the MVP. So is Lamar. Who's better? Show us. This is a must-win for Josh Allen.
You're very, very close, Greg. Brew was far off, and it's really sad to see Brew totally write off Derrick Henry. Who knew?
Yeah.
Who knew that Brew thought Derrick Henry just had a game or two left in his career? I always thought Brew was a Derrick Henry guy. I wonder how Jimmy's seafood and crab in Baltimore is going to feel about that one. Double must-win for the quarterbacks. Because
double must-win right out of the gate?
The media machine must feast. And if the other favorites are all favored by at least a touchdown, there is going to be no one on Monday. If the Chiefs beat the Texans, the Lions beat the Commanders, and the Eagles beat the Rams, as is expected, at least by Vegas, with those being big favored, there's nobody that's going to be like, oh, man, C.J. Stroud blew it, or Jaden Daniels blew it. The only person available is going to be the losing quarterback of this game. Barring a high-scoring classic, what they're going to say is, man, Lamar, once again, a 3-time MVP now potentially, and has been to one conference championship game. Or Josh, it's going to be, okay, I don't care about how many 40 touchdown seasons you have. You've lost in this round 4 straight times.
I just heard all
and
that.
3 straight home games.
Thank you, Rob.
Well, it's like leading with a trick play. I mean, right out of.
But that's the right answer. You know I'm
Thank
right.
you, Wilds.
Can I just say something here?
Move on.
If you're actually the mayor of fair, his answer was absurd.
No,
it was interesting.
No way you were thinking Derrick Henry.
Because you're right.
Double must win
He
right out
also
of the
wasn't thinking
Yours
Trent
was a
Dilfer
non-answer.
because it's ridiculous.
A non-answer. Trent Dilfer is interesting. Is that your answer?
Who gets
Brew, obviously.
Thank you.
You guys just said the quarterbacks.
It is factual. A 31-year-old running back in his 9th year.
I was like, wow.
He needs this. Thank you.
That's a must-win.
Thank you. Yeah.
Texans,
absolutely.
Chiefs. Greg, you're up first
I'm
here.
going to test your consistency here.
Texans coming into Arrowhead almost 9-point underdogs. First matchup was a 27-19 Chiefs victory. Mahomes had 2 touchdowns, 1 in the air, 1 in the ground. KC rolled this game. Greg, who is this game a must-win for? I'm going to warn everybody, do not say Patrick Mahomes, okay? We get it. The people at home are like, Patrick Mahomes is going for a 3-peat. Like, I know that. Everyone knows that.
Well, Wilds, I don't care about warnings.
Don't, please, Greg. Don't, for your own sake.
No, look, I don't care. I go against the grain.
Don't say Patrick Mahomes.
This is Patrick Mahomes all the way. Let me tell you why. My buddy to my left, he does these things where he tells us how great Patrick Mahomes is.
I just show
facts.
facts.
And the facts that you've shown is he is without blemish in this round.
Yeah.
He doesn't lose in this round.
No.
So he must win to save. Matter of fact, this is when the season starts.
No,
for Patrick
that's
Mahomes.
wrong. It starts next week.
This is when when the playoffs start. You said this all season long. When the playoffs come, this is when their season starts. You said this is practice. You also said this is when the season starts, when they're in the postseason. So for me, when I look at those numbers, and he's the great Patrick Mahomes, the Texans can't possibly beat them because he does everything right. He doesn't lose in this round. This is Patrick Mahomes.
Okay. All right, KW.
Okay, we go.
Based on the Derrick Henry precedent that's been set,
Well,
I'm pivoting an
copycat
answer.
league. Uh-oh.
DeAndre Hopkins.
Interesting.
What's the last time he played in the playoffs? It was in this exact matchup,
Love it.
in this stadium, up 24-0. Who is the wide receiver that's been in the league 11, 12 years that right now everyone's talking about being a Hall of Famer? Not DeAndre Hopkins, Mike Evans. What's the only knock about DeAndre? 400 yards in the playoffs, hasn't been in the playoffs in 5 years, no great postseason moments. Well, now he's on the best team he's ever been on, playing the team that traded him away for a second-round pick and a running back on a bad contract. The last time he was in a playoff game, he was on the receiving end of a 51-7 run by the other team after being up 24-0. He's got to win and stamp his ticket to Canton with a great postseason.
Wow. I mean, his whole career basically comes down to this week.
He was reciting from my playbook. I just said that the last segment.
But it was
Are
good.
You gonna
I like
fall
it.
for that?
I don't know. I like
Here
it.
it is. CJ Stroud. What have we
quarterback?
all said about CJ this week? Sophomore slump. Not this week, this year. Sophomore slump. Well, how in the world, what a better way to turn a sophomore slump into sophomore sizzle.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, sizzle.
alliteration.
Because now CJ was the cat's meow. He was the new it guy coming into this season. Now you know who the it guy is? Jaden Daniels.
That's true.
All right? And people have forgotten about CJ.
Have they?
Yeah, they have.
Yeah,
and
true.
so if he
People are like,
wins
"What's
this, he wins this game, he puts himself back on the map. Some people had him winning MVP. I think Greg
What
did.
happens, Brew,
next?
if he
He
loses?
wins this game next year. People are thinking, okay, CJ MVP.
Brew, whoa,
CJ's
that's not
the
bad.
best young quarterback in the league. All that
Brew,
stuff.
what happens if he
We
loses?
win. It's a must-win.
What
CJ
happens if
Stroud.
he loses?
I know better than to answer Nick's question.
Nick wins it. The DeAndre Hopkins thing is interesting.
He copied my playbook.
And it worked. It's a copycat.
Unbelievable.
Sorry, we're moving on. Commanders at Lions. Detroit almost 10-point favorites in this one off their bye. This one is Saturday night on Fox, 7:30. Huge spread bodes well for Detroit. Look at this. If you're an 8-point favorite, 15-0. 10-5 against the spread for all you gamblers out there. Nick, you go first. The board is yours, as I like to say. Who is this a must-win for?
You know who.
Who? I don't know who.
I don't even have to say it, and you know who. That's it. Oh. We're in the. All of a sudden, you are throwing out entirely everything Sam Darnold did this year, based on one bad playoff game. Say you went pumpkin mode.
Yeah.
I watched Breakfast Bowl this morning, and they did a topic that you would have hated, but it's coming, which is, oh, okay, switch quarterbacks. Which team's better, which team's worse? Like, with the argument being Jaden already has proven he's a better quarterback than Jared Goff.
When I said it with Caleb, I got roasted.
What? Huh? When you, the only way the Lions lose this game is if somehow Goff goes 5-pick game the way he did. They ended up winning that game, but like we saw earlier in the year, they have such a massive edge, not only from home field, but from offensive personnel against the Commanders' defense, that it would take a Goff hat trick of turnovers. So because the only way they lose is if Goff melts down, it's a must-win. So it's Jared Goff.
Dan Campbell.
Nice.
Here's the reason why. We all love
explanation.
We all love Dan Campbell, right? He's this great coach. It turned this moribund franchise around in a snap of a finger. But here's what do we love about Dan Campbell? What makes him unique? What makes him good? He's different from everybody else. Here's the things that are his strengths. No rest. We don't sit out Week 18 like the Chiefs and these other teams.
Week 18, they
right?
had to play.
No rest.
The 1 seed.
Go
that would have been a
for it.
ridiculous
Go
game to
for
sit
it
out.
all the time, practically on 4th down. All right, trick plays.
I like that too.
We run up the score. We embarrass opponents. You beat us last year. Oh, we're not just gonna beat you. We're gonna embarrass you. But guess what? When that is what you do, when that is how you live, when that is what you rest your hat on, you better win. You better win a divisional round playoff game that you're favored to win. Oh, if you lose, the icing will be off the cake for Dan Campbell. I just made that one up.
This is simple. Aaron Glenn, let's get it done.
Aaron Glenn.
You got to win, man. You got to win. Nobody has been able to solve this riddle of Jaden Daniels. No one all season long. He's one of the best closers in the game. He's coming into your house. The reason why the bye was so important is because of the guys on your side of the ball. I need to get healthy. My guys need rest so we can get after this very brilliant dual threat quarterback. Well, you got all the rest. You got the number 1 seed. You got your fans behind you. You're at home. You got a young guy that's coming in at quarterback that has some faint fans that are saying they're Lion supporters nervous.
Oh, wow, you're playing with fire there.
Aaron Glenn, shut this offense down.
Wow.
The one thing we know that they can do, they can score, but only if you let them.
Okay. For the first time in must-win history, it's a 3-way tie going into the money ball. It's unbelievable. This is playoff must-win. This is why you buy your ticket.
Let's go!
Rams and Philly for all the marbles. Someone here is going to have to pick either their 3rd or 4th NFC team. Since the bye week, the Rams, their bye week, 10-3. The Eagles, 13-1. Eagles scoring a lot of points. Yards per play, exactly the same. Brew, the ball's in your court. Your championship on the line. It's playoff time and must win.
Let me ask you guys, what is one of the greatest things in sports?
Game 7.
That's one of them, but there's another thing.
Grand slams.
Record-breaking seasons. We had one. Jordan Mailata wanted one. Saquon Barkley and his father wanted one. I think even Nick Sirianni wanted one. You know who didn't want one?
This was the answer
Lane
last week.
Johnson. Lane Johnson. If it weren't for Lane Johnson, Saquon Barkley would be the rushing champion. His name written in history.
That's a good point.
All right?
That's a great point.
So I'm not trying to jump on Lane. He's a great offensive lineman, but here's what you got to do, Lane. Win!
They already did.
You got to win again. You got to win this game. You can't lose to a lower seed in your building. So if you do, Saquon's going to be like, for this?
Greg,
for one playoff win, I didn't break the record?
A quick update on last week's must win. We did Eagles. We did
Packers.
Eagles.
Nobody
Packers
said
must win, and it was kind of a Lane must win. And I was like, someone should have said Lane Johnson. That would have been great because of the record.
Yeah.
And Brew delivered a week later.
Yeah.
You great.
It was
the last
excellent.
word you said was great.
The answers to the exam from the teacher's desk,
Yeah.
but it was for the previous exam,
But it's still-
and he wrote them all down
Look,
on this
it's
one.
still hit.
It's still,
Greg,
thank you.
it's anybody's ball game.
Well, this is Jalen Hurts. Last time you played this team,
Really?
yeah,
Oh.
Your offense-
Wow, who would have thought that?
your offense.
Only
rushed-
330 million people. But go ahead, I'm
Can
sorry.
I go? Can I go? Can I go?
Where'd you get that number from?
Jalen Hurts.
Your
That's the
offense
population
rushed
of
for over
America.
300 yards. And you made a statement a few weeks back when you threw for 290 yards. That what you wanted to see?
Oh, I like that.
Well, guess what? We want to see it now. Because you know what they're going to do? They're going to stop that run game. That's what they're going to put all their energy into stopping the run game. You know what we want to see? We want to see you throw it. We want to see AJ actually put the book down, stand up on the field, and catch some of those balls that you're going to throw his way. Let's see what you have against a team that's coming in feeling really good about what they did against another team this past weekend. Defensively, Jalen Hurts. You got what it takes? You got to win this.
Greg, it's obviously a far better answer than Lane Johnson, and it's almost there. But the real answer is A.J. Brown. The only reason the Eagles have had any controversy the last 2 months is because of things A.J. Brown has done or said. Now, they responded the first time to his self-inflicted media storm by having a great offensive performance the following week. Exactly.
They did.
And because of that, nobody really cared past that one news cycle. This week now, you got to go do it all over again. Because all week the story has been he's reading a book, Greg says something, Jahan Dotson gets mad, AJ gets mad. We're about to do a topic about Sirianni answering press conference questions about Greg Jennings' take on A.J. Brown from this weekend.
We're doing that next.
We're literally doing it in a couple minutes.
I know, so why are you doing it now?
Yeah.
Greg wins it!
Thank you!
Greg takes the
Ring me!
One upset!
Ring me!
One upset!
Ring me! It's playoffs, baby!
With Jalen
He's
Hurts.
the Super Bowl
to play.
champ.
That's the
You know what?
obvious
Super Bowl
answer.
experience. Playoff experience. It came through.
What I'm talking about.
You did last week's, he did next segment. What do you want me to do? Moneyball.
Ring me!
Coming up next, everything Nick just talked about, but more in depth.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.